I found that as the young people and not so young people search for truth, that they're finally having to be brought into the reality that the truth of the history of this planet may be in the one place they didn't look, into metaphysics. That in those journals that they tell you are worth nothing and are sacrilegious and blasphemous is where your truth lies. That's where they hid it. Why do you think they form secret societies, teach their young, try to find their best psychics, put them together in think tanks like the Rand Corporation, and continue to try and control this planet where the very pineal melanin-carrying people that should awaken go to sleep if there isn't something there? I found out the truth about melatonin, and I will share with you a secret that I normally would not even share until some of you were at least enrolled in my classes, but time is speeding up, and the truth has got to be shared more and more, or we're all going to lose this planet. The original people who took on bodies on this planet had 12 DNA strands entwined together. In each of the cells, there were 12 DNA strands. The people were gods. Some of you, and I heard the brother talk about before I left again, and I know the way he put it out, some of you may have gotten lost, but as he said, it would come back to you on the subconscious plane, that there are 7 chakra centers, and I'm sure many of you have studied that, but there are 5 exterior chakra centers. 7 and 5 make what? That is the last vestige that we have now on the subliminal plane of when we were able to master all 12 degrees of those consciousnesses, because an alien form came here, smashed our 12 RNA, DNA patterns, set up a double helix, and left us functioning with 2. From a system with people who could take 12, and if any of you are geneticists or understand anything about RNA and DNA valences, and so, if you have 12 strands of DNA, and now we only have 2, and one of those has a helix that isn't operating, this would simply mean like this. You had a computer that had endless programs and a coaxial cable with endless power. You could put as many programs into that computer as you had time to spend studying your computer. And then somebody came and outside of 3,000 programs left you with 2. Do you think you would have lost something? That is what the black man feels when he cries out and can no longer do the things that inwardly he knows he's supposed to be able to do. He misses his 10 other DNA strands. He doesn't even have the master programs to access the file anymore because the helixes are broken. Now, the key to restoration of the 12 strands is in the Kabbalah. Why? Because that symbol represents a double melatonin molecule. Just that simple. Look it up. With, as the brother just talked about, again, before I came, Reverend Valentine, with the new vibrations, the new electromagnetic energies coming in now past our sun, which used to filter them out, but now is allowing them to come directly to us, with this new radiation, with these new gamma rays coming in, this is agitating the membranes and causing what they call now garbage DNA. How many have ever heard that term? They even teach it in some of these stupid schools, garbage DNA. Huh? Okay. There is no such thing as garbage DNA. That is the fractured thing that an intelligence that took over this planet caused to happen to its spiritual people. So they had to learn a lesson. This garbage DNA are now entwining, vibrating, and that's why you're out here tonight in spite of the ice and snow. And the person that asked me on the air about UFOs, I didn't even mention the subject, let me know that you were ready. And therefore, I'm going to take the chance and tell you some truths that most of you are still researching. I'll save you some time in hopes that we can get on with the job that is needed. When these garbage DNAs now become the restored 10, the 12 lost tribes, the 12 lost strands, and come together once more, they can create the 13th anomaly, the 13th planet that blew itself off, causing all of our problems in this solar system in the first place, and whose denizens have now reincarnated here, giving us the hell we're catching. When these strands now, with the new sun energies that were not present before, so you couldn't do it. If you can do, as the brother said, and as inwardly all of you have felt, and I'll read you, I'll give you a reading now, each of you know that this year, and in fact it probably started with some of you 5 years ago, you're supposed to change the way you did things. Some of you have. Some of you have slipped and you've chastised. But you know there's a better way and you should be following it. Some of you have fought like mad to get active in politics, and you've tried, but you know no longer is it really valid, and there's a better way, and I got to spend some time with that too. Some of you have dropped out of some of your churches, not because you didn't love the choir, not because you didn't love the fine clothes, not because you didn't like the people, but the soul food was missing. It was not cooked right. Now, once you get the good soul food, the old soul food goes away, and you start searching for a different cook. Well, we are the cooks. We must prepare our own food. Therefore, nobody can take anything away from thou and thee that present and prepares your own table. No longer will they be able to take away a church or a leader. You will become the church and the leader. You always were, you just didn't know it. Now you must awaken to that concept. And for those of you, be they mother, father, sister, brother, husband, or wife, who cannot take that stand with you, do not denounce them, but do not wait for them. The planet needs you now. Two in the field, one chosen, one called. It's happening. How do you make contact? You want to, with all your heart and all your soul. And then you get the right contact. Other than that, you might get what they call an abduction, like many of the United States government people are abducting people and blaming it on aliens because they do have spacecraft now, and the time for the showdown is at hand. If you do not cloak yourself in truth, if you do not have a core that cannot be shaken under the worst oppression, where fear enters in and causes you to lose your electromagnetic field, you will suffer physical harm. If you can become so resolute and so believed in your Creator, and vibrate and do the things that at least you can do to dial the number for the Creator, you will have confidence that will grow on a minute-to-minute basis until you will feel that you can contact your Creator alone. If this gives you problems, that's okay, but you're not ready. If it doesn't, and you know inwardly that you should be able to do that because inwardly you feel that you do have the potential to be a God, and I did not say a universal prime creator, I said a God, then go for it, because now is the time.